Hey, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me today for Yoga in Our Cities virtual yoga class. This is for chair yoga, and I'm Anne. And I'm so happy you're joining me this evening. Now, please consult, though, your medical practitioner if you have any concerns, but especially if this is the first time that you're exercising and or doing yoga. Now, this is especially important if you have any pre-existing condition, if you're pregnant, if you're nursing, or if you're on any type of medication. Always good to check with your medical practitioner. So tonight we have basically a review of the asanas based on the levels of your flexibility. So we're going to go through a few asanas or postures that we've done before, but I'm going to go through the sitting mountain. That's basically our pose that we always come back to. I'm going to go through it briefly this evening because if you need to review it, you can go back to any of the other prior sessions for Yoga in Our City, and you'll see some details on the sitting mountain. Some of the sessions I really went into a full explanation of sitting mountain, and I'm feeling that probably I'm taking a little bit too much time on that. So we're going to move through Sitting Mountain quite quickly this evening, okay? And if you need to refresh yourself at any time, just go back to the previous sessions. They're all on the yoga YouTube with Yoga in Our City. So you can just tune in anytime, okay? So what we want to do is be very comfortable in our range of motion and our level of flexibility. Don't want to go over the extension because we don't want to hurt ourselves in any way. And as I say, no ouches. Okay, so let's begin. I'll briefly go through all the different props. And as you know, we have our blanket here, and that's for our meditation or quiet time at the end. And also have our blocks. And as you know, our blocks are for being comfortable on your chair. And if your feet are not flat on the floor in front of you, then let's say your chair is a little too high, just use the block to prop yourself up so you have that 90-degree angle, the lower half, the mid half, and the upper half. Okay? And then, of course, I have my warm tea, but if you need something to drink, please, feel comfortable, do whatever you need to do for your own comfortability. And then we have our tissues in case we need to, especially during the pranayamas, you may have some relief of mucus coming out. So that's what that's for. And then, of course, I have my roller, which is wonderful for the bottom of our feet. And I'm going to introduce basically two-chair yoga, which we're going to do next week. And I'll explain that to you quickly at the end. But next week, we're going to focus on doing double chair yoga. So I'll be doing the basic asanas or postures, but I'll be using two chairs. So you'll be able to, in your own time, see if it works for you. And sometimes with the two chair yogas, you'll get a greater extension and maybe be able to move a little bit beyond the extension that you may normally do without the second chair. Okay, so our intention this evening will be, I trust my inner guidance and I will follow it. And let's say our intention 3 times. I trust my inner guidance and I will follow it. I trust my inner guidance and I will follow it. And then just take a nice full inhalation. However, you can raise your arms up or do them halfway shoulder width, and then turn and raise, and then lower. And just allow that intention to marinate. And you may want to close your eyes for a moment and allow those positive affirmations that I trust myself and I will follow it. That inner guidance that leads us. And now we begin with the breathing. So we'll start with the pranayama, which will be the ujjayi breath. And in the other sessions, a few of them, we have done this. It's also called victorious breath or ocean breath, and it has some wonderful benefits. Now, the mouth stays closed in the inhalation and in the exhalation. During the inhalation, you're going to inhale, and on the exhalation, you're going to keep your lips touching each other and just exhale out through your lips. A way to visualize this is pretend that you have a mirror in front of you and you're going to fog up the mirror so it'll be very easy. Exhalation. You could even separate your lips slightly until you get the feel of keeping your mouth closed during the ujjayi breath. Sometimes people say they'll hear like a snore because you'll hear in the back of your throat, you'll hear a sound. Some people call it ocean. It's like an ocean sounding on the exhalation. So let's begin, and we'll start in our sitting mountain. So our feet are comfortably on the floor in front of us. And remember, you have those two spots on the fatty part of your foot right beneath your toes and also for on the heel. Those are the areas that we're going to dig into the ground beneath us. You want your feet comfortably apart. So now if you went on your tippy toes, you could feel those fatty parts in both feet. And also if you went on, raised your toes up, and then you'd feel it on the heels. Okay. Now you want your legs comfortably apart. So again, we take the fists, bring them in between, and then ride the fists up the fleshy part of our thighs, and our pelvis will sit perfectly on the chair. And then you're going to move into taking your hand, place it, the finger, small finger under the chin, and just slightly lift it up. And you want your chin parallel to the floor. And then take your shoulders and bring them up towards the ears. Open that chest. So you have this full breath. Remember, our breath is our life force. Our breath is so important, and it has many, many aspects of it. So when we do our ujjayi breath, this is a calming breath, but it also is an energizing breath. So to relieve tension. So we're going to start with the ujjayi breath. Now remember, when you look up, you don't want to look past the seam where the ceiling meets the uh, oh my God, I'm forgetting, where the ceiling meets your wall. Okay, there should be a little part there, and you don't want to look beyond that because you don't want to hyperextend the neck. Okay, and let's begin. So with the ujjayi breath or the victorious breath, we're going to inhale through the nose, exhale out through the nose or mouth. Inhale through the nose, separate the lips slightly, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, separate the lips slightly, exhale through the mouth. And now you can close your eyes if you'd like, and I just invite you to follow your own breath on the inhalation and the exhalation. And just breathe where it's comfortable. So it may be like a count of 2 on the inhalation and exhale on the count of 2 through the mouth. Now, you may be aware of your chest expanding and contracting during this breathing session, and just follow it. Now, with the Ujjayi breath or ocean sounding breath, we're also building heat in our body. So, this is a wonderful breath for people. Well, I say in the Northeast because I'm in the Northeast and it's cold. So, this can help warm the body. Now, in addition, this also helps with concentration. However, I find all the breathing, every one of the various breaths in yoga, all the different pranayamas, also increase the powers of concentration. And let's take 6 more full Ujjayi breaths. And then one more inhale. Exhale out through the mouth. And now you may open your eyes and just take a pulse of how you feel. You feel relaxed, and notice your breath. Now, you may have been sitting back in your chair during the breathing, which is fine, but now I'm going to invite you to come to the edge of the chair because we want to have in our sitting mountain, we want to have our lower body actively engaged. So we want to stay alert. Now, one thing you may want to do is take your right hand and push away the fleshy part of the right cheek and then the left, and just feel those sits bones as they ground on the chair in front of you. Again, open the chest and breathe. Actively engage the lower body. Now we're going to move into our second pranayama, or our second breath, which is called coherent breathing. Now, for our coherent breathing, what we will do is count only to 2 on the inhalation and 2 on the exhalation. It's a very simple breath. I'm not going to complicate it. As you move and practice coherent breath, some of you may already be at a count of 3 or maybe even a count of 5. So you do whatever floats your boat, whatever comes naturally for you. Okay. Sometimes people have been practicing these breathing techniques on a daily basis. So you may have an extended time to breathe, like inhale, count to 5, exhale, the count to 5. But to keep it simple, I'm going to recommend to start with 2. So it'll be an inhalation counting 2 and an exhalation counting 2. And I'm going to walk you through the first couple of times I'm going to be counting the breath. Okay? Now, the coherent breathing is a very relaxing breath. And you're also going to be able to improve your powers of concentration with the coherent breathing. And you don't have to think about much, just be in your breath. Okay? You may want to explore and notice your breathing. That may help to keep the mind focused because, as we have talked about before, they say we have 50 to 60,000 thoughts in a day. So we want to kind of calm those down. And if we're not used to quieting our minds, we maybe have very, very active minds that shift from one thing to another. Okay, so again, let's find that comfortable spot in our sitting mountain. I'm going to move a little bit closer to the edge of my chair. Make sure my mic is still on. Beautiful. So you can hear me clearly. And I'm going to engage the lower part of my body, active sitting, active engagement, and the shoulders back, opening the chest. And let's begin. I'm going to invite you this time to just close your eyes and listen to my voice. You're going to inhale through the nose and exhale out through the nose. Now, if you find yourself at all stuffy, you may have a cold or some other medical condition, then just exhale out through the mouth. But inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. The reason why we prefer to inhale through the nose, exhale out through the nose is because we have those fine hairs in our nose which filter out any impurities that we may inhale. Also, it warms our breath before it comes down to the chest. Okay? And if we're exhaling out through the mouth, it could be very drying. So be sure you have your warm water or some drink to just kind of sip and wet your mouth. Okay, so let's start with the coherent breathing. And I invite you again to close your eyes, be in that beautiful sitting mountain position. And let's begin. Inhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 2, 1. Now you follow your own amount of time that you want to inhale. I'm going to move from 2 to 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. 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 And we'll do it 5 more times. Inhale, count on your own. And now you may open your eyes. And then we'll all meet back in Sitting Mountain. Some of you may still be breathing in the coherent breath, so just finish up. And then open the eyes. And again, how do you feel? Is your breath smooth? With the coherent breath, we're not holding the inhalation at all. We're just simply flowing through the inhale and the exhale. There's other types of breaths that we may move on to and we'll extend it. Maybe we'll inhale and then hold and then exhale. Okay? So now let's begin with the next one, which we're going to do. Well, let's go back to our intention. I trust my inner guidance and I will follow it. I trust my inner guidance and will follow it. I trust my inner guidance and I will follow it. Okay, so let's come back into our foundation pose, which is the sitting mountain, and get the alignment where again your lower body is actively engaged. And we're going to start with the warm-ups. Okay, we're going to start with the base of the feet. With sitting mountain, we always start from the lower and move on to the upper. So we're going to start by, let's take our toes and just come up on the tippy toes and on that fatty part of our cushion on the top of our foot, right beneath the toes, and just press down. Put a little bit of strength or power into pressing down. And then take your heels and let's come up on the heels. Press down. Now we're going to alternate. So let's do the right foot, toes up, heel down, and then the left. Let's move back and forth. Feeling a nice stretch. And you may want to hold on to the sides of your chair and even open that chest at the same time. Because remember, our body is all interconnected. So if we can use different parts of our body, different muscles, different bones while we're sitting and doing some of these warm-ups, it really is beneficial. And then we're going to take our right foot and our left, and you can come back a little bit further on your chair and make circles with the ankles. Get those ankles moving and then reverse. Feel that warm up. Ankles, and then we're going to move up to the knees. So now let's take the hands and I'm going to place them on my right, lower beneath the knee, no pressure on the knee, and I'm just going to make circles. And then I'm going to reverse. And then the opposite, left up. Now, sometimes I like to do a tapping around the knees. Okay, so we can do that. We can do a tap, tap, tap. Take your hands or your fingers, whatever's comfortable, and just tap around the knees. Get that circulation moving. And then reverse. And then if you like, we could even go up the thighs on the outer, back down, and then in the inner. And then tap, tap, tap around our belly. All the colon, the intestines getting nourished. And then tap, tap, tap our fingers and our hands. Come up to the shoulders. And then the opposite. And then our neck. Tap, tap, tap. We could do our face. They say this is very good. It's like a facial. Just tap it, get everything circulating. And then we could even do our head. So again, whatever your body is telling you it needs, because it has the wisdom to know exactly what it needs. Okay, so now we're going to move into, we're going to take our hips and just make circles with the hips. Now, wherever you're comfortable, whether it's coming a little bit farther back on the chair or a little bit forward, you'll feel the differences. And really engage those hips. We want to keep them lubricated. They call that the synovial fluid. That helps with the lubrication of our hips. Now from here, we're going to move into our shoulders, but let's do our right shoulder up and down and our left, and let's alternate. So as the right shoulder comes forward and then back, then the left. It was the opposite direction. Remember one of the sessions that we did was the combining of the left and the right side of the brain, trying to unify it by working on the left and the right side of the body, but changing the position. So when my right hand goes forward, my left arm comes back, and that's where we're synchronizing. It's a synchronizing exercise. I have to use both sides of the brain. And then let's make shoulder rolls and reverse. Again, forward and reverse. Beautiful. All righty. Now we're going to move into, let's do our fingers though, each of the fingers, and let's do our tap, 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 tap. Okay. Remember all the little nerve endings in the fingers. Okay. Sometimes we think, wow, my fingers, why would I exercise my fingers? Well, remember all the functions that your fingers and your hands do during the course of a day. Sometimes we take it for granted. But if you've ever had a situation whereby you didn't have the use of your fingers or your hands, you know how important they are for the functionability, to open jars, to prepare food sometimes, to brush our hair, etc. And now let's take our hands and just make circles at the wrists. You can either take the fists or open the hands, whatever, and reverse. And we're going to take the right arm, just extend it up and then down and then the left. Just stretch it, almost like we're a plane. Just move from back to forth. Okay, this is a very nice warm-up, just warming the body before we get into our postures and or our asanas. And for the sake of being warm, those of you like myself that are a little cold, take those hands, place them together, and rub the palms together. This warms up the hands. And then you may rub the tops, do whatever you need to do. Okay? Okay, so let's begin this evening with the cat-cow. Now, the cat-cow, as you know, is a wonderful stretch of the spine. We're doing both ways, right? So with the cat-cow on our chair, just like we would do if we were on a mat, we're going to inhale, stretch forward, and then exhale, hump the back and come back. Now, this may be exactly where you're at. Well, this would be level 1, just moving back and forth. Maybe you can only move this much in level 1. So whichever level you're at, that's what you're going to do. Now, level 2, you'll come a little bit farther, a little farther back, and engage the whole spine in level 2, connecting the breath with the movement. Now we're going to move into level 3. So we're really going to extend. Inhale and then hump back. Exhale, bring the head down. Ready? Inhale. And let's do this 3 more times. Now you may even want to engage the stomach or the belly as you're doing this. So as you're inhaling, push the belly out. And as you exhale, tighten your core. Get that core engaged. And this supports our lower back, as you know. So with a core, a strong core leads to a strong lower back. Keep it moving. Beautiful. So this is the cat-cow. And then just breathe in between. Just relax. Notice any sensations in the spine or in the back. Now, as you're sitting there, I am going to invite you to take your belly and just push it in and out. So your belly button is going to come towards your lower spine. Tighten it and release. This gets all the intestines, the colon, all the blood is moving into that area. So tighten and engage. Just like in Sitting Mountain, we're actively engaging the lower body. Well, we're doing the same thing now with our belly. As you inhale, push the belly out. And as you exhale, tighten, tighten, tighten. If you can hold it, if your breath for a moment, that's great. And then release. But again, go on your comfortability, because as you practice this, you'll be able to hold and extend the belly farther. And as you exhale and contract, you're going to be able to contract those muscles in the belly and hold it for a little bit longer. So as we know, that cat-cow is wonderful. So sometimes you may be tired during the day, or your back hurts, or your spine. Just move into that cat-cow, synchronizing the breath with the movement. And as we become more and more aware of our body and space, we know exactly what our body needs. That's the wisdom of the body. And we each have our unique bodies, our unique flexibility, and our unique range of motion. Okay? So now we're going to move into the next posture, which is really a balancing pose. It helps us to balance, and that's going to be our tree pose. So again, we have the 3 levels of flexibility, and we'll start with level 1, okay? Who's ever at level 1, remember we just take the foot and place the right foot just against the left, and that's our lower body. So that's the left and the right side of the body. You may feel that one side is a little bit variant from the other. And we also have, we know, the upper body. So we have the right side and the left. And remember, as we talked about in our last session, your lower body and your upper body may be at 2 very different places, right? So I may be very flexible in my lower body, but a little tight in my upper body. So for the tree pose, you may just want to take your hands and place them comfortably wherever it is, one hand on top of the other, or maybe you want the palms together, or maybe you just want to fold your hands one finger over the other. And breathe. So this is level 1. And what we do to the right side, we're going to do the left side. So again, you may be at level 1, and then you'll do the same thing on the left. Okay. That left foot is comfortably touching the right. And again, maybe our hands are here, but maybe we want to move down to the belly. Or maybe our hands are just on standing on the side. Okay. The only thing you have to be mindful of is make sure that chest is open when we're doing the tree. Okay. Now, next would be level 2, and that will be the right foot over the left. It's our lower body. And for flexibility at the upper body, you may be able to take the hands, raise them up shoulder length, and then bring them together in what we call palm to palm, or some people call it a prayer pose. And breathe. Nice full breaths. You can use the coherent breath, or sometimes people prefer to use the ujjayi breath, which would be the inhale, and keep the lips closed and exhale through the mouth. Remember, this improves the power of concentration, the ujjayi breath, so that may be perfect for you. So whichever breath, again, floats your boat, that's what you do. And then you may be instead on level 3. But again, you want to do the opposite, left over right. And again, let's raise the arms up and then bring it to prayer pose or palms to palms and breathe. Nice full breaths. And going back, you may even want to engage the belly, okay? Pushing out on the inhale and exhale, tighten. Tighten the lower bottom of your body, okay? Tighten the buttocks, tighten the belly. I think years ago they used to call this isometrics, tightening different parts of the body. And relax. And then level 3 for tree pose will be, you're going to take the right foot and place it right on the top, further than the knee, because you don't want any pressure on the knee. This would be our chair pose. And level 3, you may be all the way up for your tree pose, and you may want to have a nice full body tree. This is on the right side. And breathe if you're in level 3. So find your level of flexibility, level 1, level 2, level 3, and let's do it all together. Let's do 3 full breaths. And then inhale on the 4th and slowly lower the upper body and the lower body down to back to where it was in the sitting mountain. And let's shake out the body. And now, of course, what we did to the right side, we're going to do to the left side. So again, we're going to take that left leg and bring it up. Now, you may want to use, by the way, I just was using my hand to bring my foot up, but you may have a strap or a belt, which makes it easier, and just hold on to it and bring it right to the knee, okay? I should say above the knee, because you don't want pressures on our knees. Okay, and then again, up, 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 up. You may want to have that nice, beautiful, full, extended, abundant tree. Or some people prefer to take the palms of the hands and really go high up and place the hands up towards the ceiling and breathe. 3 full breaths. And again, stretch those fingers up towards the ceiling. Extend, extend, extend. Lengthen the spine and slowly exhale, coming back down. Beautiful. Nice. Lower the hands, lower the foot back down to the floor. And again, let's just come back into sitting mountain and let's just move the areas again. Do some warm-ups. Okay, and now we're going to take the right hand and we're just going to slide it right down the side of the chair and see if you can slowly just look over the left shoulder, if that's comfortable in your neck, and then the opposite. Just do what you can do. You may be on the level of flexibility, just like this, and then just stretch a little bit farther down. So again, you find your comfortable position. This is just a side stretch. Now for level 2, you may just want to extend a little bit farther over. You're exhaling as you're coming down, and then I'll show you level 3. Now level 3, we're going to sink the feet into the floor, and now I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to raise that right arm and bring the hands right under my armpit, and then the opposite. Beautiful side stretch. You can feel the opening of your side body. Beautiful. Now, one of the advantages of that, of course, is not only are we stretching and lengthening the side body, but we're again synchronizing the breath with the movement. Okay. Now we're going to do what we call the chair pose. Now, the chair pose, usually we see it um, in a yoga magazine or a class, whatever, that they're standing up doing it. But we're going to do the chair pose sitting down. Again, let's kind of come towards, not kind of, let's come to the front of the chair. Again, safety's number one. And for chair pose, we're going to do the 3 levels of flexibility. You may already know how far you can go, but you do whatever, again, is comfortable in your body, okay? Only you know. Notice your range of motion. Notice your flexibility, okay? So if you're on level 1 in chair pose, you're going to simply come forward, extend. Maybe you can raise your arms up. You're bending at the knees. And breathe. And then we're going to move into level 2 is where you may be. And then you can come and you can hinge a little bit farther down from the hips and maybe raise the arms a little bit farther out. Now, if you can straighten the arms, that's wonderful, palms facing each other. But that again would be level 3. So then if you're at level 3, really extend and stretch. So whether you're at level 1, level 2, I'm going to come back to level 2 or level 3. You find again this yoga, chair yoga is for everybody. And keep remembering, you find your own levels of flexibility. That may change over time. So, for example, you may be at level 1, and then all of a sudden, a few months down the road, you're at level 2. You feel the stretch, you feel the sensation, and you're able to move a little bit farther into the posture of the asana, using the breath. And then slowly come back to center. Now, feel your hip bones, okay? And you know we have that pelvis area, which is sitting right on the chair. That's that bowl-shaped part of our body. But hold on to your hip bones right now and just hinge forward. Well, I should say inhale first. Then on the exhalation, just hinge forward. Come as far down as you can, stretching forward. And then come back. And then again, forward. Let's do this 3 times. All righty. Now we're going to move into our triangle pose. Now, for the triangle pose, we did do this in the last session. You're going to either level 1, I should say, there's 3 levels. Level 1, we're going to kind of move towards the side of the chair. And your legs may be separated just into a V. This would be level 1. And you may be able to extend that left leg back a little bit. This may be level 1. And then you're going to simply inhale. And as you exhale, take that right arm and just allow it to rest comfortably on that right leg. And maybe this is your level 1 in the triangle pose. Maybe you can only take that left hand and place it on your shoulder. Level 1. And breathe. Now, you may even find that you need a block to support your foot, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, so let me show you level 2, and I'll use my block. So again, you're going to come back. Maybe your bottom part of your body is in the shape of an L. So now you're going to take that right foot straight ahead. The left comes back a little bit more. So you can bring it back a little more. And maybe my toes, I'm going to bring that leg a little bit closer to the mat. And my toes are resting on my block. And again, we're going to take the right arm. Maybe you can bring it further down. And that left arm, maybe instead of on the shoulder on the side, you can bring it a little bit farther up. And slowly come down over your side. And breathe for the triangle pose. 3 full breaths. Beautiful. Then come back. And then again, you may be on level 3. And we're not going to need the block, but we're going to extend that left leg back. Okay. And again, we're going to take the right arm and let's extend it over and slide it down on the outside of the right leg and stretch up, opening the chest. You can feel the opening of the chest and breathe. You may even be able to bring the fingers closer to the mat, wherever you are. Feel the side body open and slowly come back up. And of course, what we did to the right side, now we need to do to the left. So again, remember 3 levels of flexibility, and maybe we can even find a 4th eventually. So let's start with the V shape. And we're simply going to take that left, or I should say the right leg, and just slide it as comfortably as we can back. The other thing is, I've seen sometimes this done where we support the knee on our block. So these props are very good for support. Okay, and stretch back. Again, we're going to take the left. Maybe this is all we can come down. And then we're going to slowly raise the right arm up, opening the chest. Maybe we can only go this far. Okay, we can, level 1, we're going to take our fingers and place them right on our shoulder. But we may be at level 2. Level 2, we're going to extend that right leg a little bit farther back, which may mean that we're going to place the toes on the top of the block, stretch that right leg back a little farther. Again, take that left arm, bend it, and slowly we're going to open a little bit farther into the triangle pose. Maybe this left hand, our upper body, can come on the outside of the left leg and stretch up and open. But we may only be here. Remember, the upper and the lower body, the left and the right side can be at very different places. Right? We can be at different levels of flexibility. And then we're going to go to the full extension. The right leg is going to slide back as far as it can, where our knee, if we need the support of the block, feel free, take the block, place it on the knee, on the floor in the knee to support it. Okay. So you do, and you get the support for the props that you need. And extend that right leg back. I have to move the block a little bit farther back. Okay, and the left leg stays here. And now I'm going to bend again. This left arm, I'm going to stretch up and open my side body in the triangle pose. But if I'm at level 3, I can take this hand, I can put it on the outside of my left leg and bring the fingertips as close to the mat as I can. But in addition, you may want to take the block and place it under the fingers of your left for more support. And open and extend and breathe. Now remember, you want to be comfortable with the neck. So you don't want to hyperextend the neck, especially if you have any neck problems. And breathe. 3 full breaths. And now slowly come out of the triangle pose and see how you feel. And now what we're going to do, which is what I love, shaking the body. Let's shake the whole body, everything we use. Shake the arms, shake the legs, get everything moving, the hands. as we come out of the triangle. Now the triangle opens again, all the side body, the chest, the breath flows through. Beautiful. And now let's take those circles and move the shoulders in circle. Okay, now I'm going to move into a child pose, okay? So for this, next week I'm going to introduce the 2 chairs. So we're going to do chair yoga, but utilizing 2 chairs. So what I did this evening though is I took this, just, the regular hammock, and I wanted to show you that for the child pose, if you're comfortable, let me put my mic on the floor. If you're comfortable doing this, you could take your blanket in the child pose, and we could have 3 levels of flexibility for the child pose, but you decide how far you want to come down into the child pose. So you know that the child pose is a very relaxing posture. So with the child pose, I'm going to take my hammock, bring it close to my body, and I'm simply going to forward my chest as far down as I can on the blanket. Now, when I use a chair, I want to have the chair, probably the second chair, similar in height to my original chair, and then just slide down. And you can take both hands, fist on top of fist, and bring it to right here, the center of the brow. And breathe and relax. And then slowly come back up. And now we're going to get ready for our relaxing, okay, as we come to the end of our practice this evening. Now, if you have a hammock or something that you want to rest your legs on for the relaxation, perfect. It's much needed for my legs right now. It feels wonderful. Just extend the legs. And you could take your blanket and warm your body. You can keep those feet and toes, what I'm going to do, nice and cozy and warm, and just lie and relax. And connect for a moment with your breath and your intention. I trust my inner self and I follow it. And close your eyes. And feel comfortable on the chair. Connect with that breath. And notice your inhalation and exhalation. Notice how smooth your breath is as you go into your relaxation, nourishing your body with your prana or your breath. And just relax. Relax your feet and relax your toes. Relax your ankles, relax your shins, your calves, and your knees. Relax your whole body. Relax your thighs. Simply relax. Relax your buttocks. Relax your abdomen. Relax your chest, your lungs, your upper spine, your mid, and your lower. Relax every area of the spine. And breathe. Relax your rib cage. Relax your breast. Relax your shoulders. Relax your upper arms and then your elbows. Relax your forearms. Relax your wrists. Begin to relax your hands. Relax your fingers. Relax your whole body. Notice your breath, how smooth and even it is. As it deepens and lengthenings, as you go deeper into the relaxation. Now relax your shoulders and then relax your neck. Relax your chin. Relax your cheeks. Relax your ears. Relax your whole body. Relax your neck. Relax your eyes. Relax your head. Be in your body, fully relax. Relax your mouth and your nose, and relax your eyes and your forehead. Notice how deep your breath is. And just relax. And now, I invite you to follow me by opening your eyes, coming back to our intention. I trust my inner guidance and I follow it. I trust my inner guidance and I follow it. I trust my inner guidance and follow it. And open the eyes and make big, big opening of the eyes. Stretch them out. And then take your lips and bring them into a beautiful smile. And take 3 full breaths, but don't go away yet. 3 full breaths. And at the end of the 3rd breath, make your exhalation nice and long. And for one moment, let me just mention that next week, I expect and hope, I shouldn't say expect, but I do hope you all join me. Practice during the week. And if you need to go back to the original sessions to see the sitting mountain or coherent breathing or ujjayi, whatever it is, you just need to tune in to Yoga in Our City and be on the YouTube, and you can see all the different sessions that we had. And in addition, next week, we're going to be using 2 chairs. So with our one bodies, we're going to be utilizing 2 chairs, so double chair yoga. And in addition, I may be eventually, we're going to do another hour next week, but then we're going to probably shorten to 30 minutes and see how that goes. So I know a lot I just mentioned to you, but please stay tuned, practice this week, and I'll see you next week. Okay? Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.